tripling my capacity. But you know, the guts of the make it go stuff really is you need to replace it all. So it doesn't hurt that a laptop, you know, a laptop works until it's no good, and then you can't upgrade a laptop, you're going to replace it. But desktops are kind of getting that way. What I'm trying to say is desktops are kind of getting into that ballpark as well, where you know, you're just going to replace it anyway. Yep, I bought a PC from them, but not a 10K. I mean, ours was just shy of, I think it was $1,700 each. And that's just for the PC. There was no monitors or keyboards or mouses or anything like that. Just the PC case. And it was big and it was heavy. But I didn't go for the liquid cooling and all the rest of the fancy disco stuff. But as I said, I mean, this PC has been running 2 years. It's probably got a good 2 more years in it. And I don't play any seriously heavy processing graphics games that needs a $10,000 PC. And the thing is if I hadn't been considering streaming, I'd have probably only spent about $1,200. I mean, the PC I was playing on was barely capable of running Farm Sim 17 Lawfolds map. And that's because there's a lot of, shall we call them decorations on the map? You know, rusted out buses and harvesters and trailers in the hedgerows. All of the workshops had tools and various other bits and pieces on them, and it was just a sort of, all of that adds up to the graphics load. And so while I can play Farm Sim on the old PC, which actually died in the process of getting this new one, it was at low quality. I could only have Farm Sim running. I couldn't be doing anything else on the PC while I was playing Farm Sim. So yeah, we figured, and that was the thing. I mean, we just got a lot of money from an investments we'd had in the UK that we decided to get rid of. And we just decided, you know, wife and I, we've never treated ourselves to a nice PC, and we spend so much time on them anyway, that we treat just this once we treat ourselves to a really nice one. Now, chances are, if I upgrade again, I'm going to wait until PCs are reasonable price PCs are better than the one I have. So, and I will probably look at spending in the future about $1,200 on a new PC rather than $500. really. And you know, for me, it gets down to I can buy a basic PC and then upgrade the components I want. I'm kind of getting fed up with having boxes and boxes of components lying around just in case I want to use them again. So, although that said, I was hunting through one box of components probably about 2 weeks ago. I can't even remember what I was looking for. But I came across a USB port, powered USB port. So it was a sort of 1:4. Sits on the desk, powers, so you can plug in your cell phone to recharge or whatever and get the benefit of that. Problem is I couldn't find the connector for the power, and that's probably in my box of cables. But I might get that out and make some use of it. We got an unpowered 1:4, and that was because when we moved in, the PC wasn't in a position I wanted it in. It was on the wrong side of the desk. And so a lot of my peripherals, things like the Farm Sim side panel and the wheel, the USB cables couldn't reach. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. So I got an extender cable and a 4:1 or 1:4 so that I can plug multiple USB devices away from the PC. Now that was until we had the wooden floors installed, and once that happened, we relocated everything into the room that we intended to be the office. And at that point, everything's in the right place, so I don't need the USB extension cord or the USB splitter. But I have found that for some reason now the Farm Sim side panel does not reconnect when I power up the PC. So I keep it unplugged all the time and just plug it in for when I want to play Farm Sim. And I think it doesn't play well with my joystick either. So having a USB hub on the desk that I can switch what's plugged into it when I want to play, if I want to play a flight sim of some type, I can plug in I can plug in the joystick. I actually have a similar problem with my work PC. They've provided me with a headset so that we can, because everybody's working remotely from home, it just makes it easier to be available on a headset rather than look up everybody's cell phone number to contact them. So, but for some reason my headset does not stay connected, so when I reboot the PC, it disconnects the headset, which is very annoying. It's quite a nice headset. I mean, it's one of those that you can simultaneously plug into your PC, your phone, Wi-Fi your cell phone into it. So yeah, all of your communications equipment just go through the one headset. But it will not stay connected to the PC, which is frustrating. Well, I don't know what, I mean, part of it, you can, when you're building a PC, you don't necessarily have to buy a new case every time. And that was the thing in England when I was, back when I got into PCs, and every few years I upgraded them. First thing I did was replace the case because I had a MIDI tower, and as soon as you run out of space on the tiny hard drives that they had back then, and replace it with a bigger one, but figure, you know what, I could keep that old hard drive as a data drive for now. There wasn't enough room in the MIDI case. I soon blew through that because the PC didn't come with a CD-ROM drive in those days, and so I needed a bay for the CD-ROM drive. I then needed a bay for the second hard drive. Then CD writers came out and I needed a bay for one of those, and sort of, okay, I'll get myself a big tower and then that will contain everything. So I got the big tower, but everything I bought just fitted in that. And okay, new motherboard and processor, take out the old one, buy some memory, buy a new graphics card, because typically that had to replace with a new motherboard. But the hard drives were still good. And the case was still good, and the power supply unit for that particular case was way over spec'd. Unfortunately, part of the price saving that Digital Storm did to provide a good PC at a good price, my power supply unit has very little extra capacity. I could not put a second hard drive in. I would be challenged trying to put in a larger SSD. So, first upgrade on this, when I decide to upgrade it, is always going to include a new PSU. But in all likelihood, if I did that, I would get a big PSU so that it would last me for a long time to come. This job is going to work out quite nicely. We'll almost finished here. Again, I should probably start running laterally rather than up and down, because the field is now wider than it is long. We'll do that. Ooh. Les gamers, welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday. Okay, sorry, I was trying to figure out how to pronounce that name, so we'll do some donuts in the tractor for a while. There we go. Okay, we will finish the field going in this general direction. do is we'll do 3 sides. And as the sun sets, that is a really nice shot. As soon as we're done here, we'll take this back to the farm. We will sleep the night. Get back down here for some planting tomorrow, and we may end up planting all day, all of day 2 early spring, since we have, I'm hoping the temperatures rise enough tomorrow so that we can plant sunflowers, but being able to plant sunflowers this early is also going to be a good thing. Ugh, just not wide enough. Can you do your commercial, your French? Yeah, I guess. Go for it. That up. Oh. Let's jump out and jump back in again, and that should put the steering wheel where we can reach it. Turn off the rear work lights, turn on the hazards, and we are good for driving on the road. I think we will probably give this tractor a bit of a wash, since we can barely see out the front window at this point. And then we'll be back down this way tomorrow. But nobody was coming. That's the end of the arable field, so we're now level with the grass field that doubles up as a sheep field. Quick check on the sheep. Sheep are fed and watered. 126,000 litres of sheep food a year. That's a lot of hay. Okay, that should have given them time to clear. Yeah. And onto the private farm road. Yay. So day 2 will be planting, which will give the weeds a chance to get started. Day 3 spring will therefore probably end up as a herbicide day, which will be a day for our Valtra, and the getting a replacement spray. Okay, we are done with the cultivator until fall. Clean that off. Clean that off. Doopy-doopy-doo. That looks a bit cleaner. here. There is a bowl for the dog. Where did the dog go? There he is. Okay. Hey, dog. And then we need to put this away. So what's the easiest way to do that? I think I'll drive around the block. I should have filled up with diesel before we got here. But, that is what it is. Okay. Reverse, that's a good plan. So I also want to add some more sheds on that lower storage yard. I'll probably end up moving a lot of this equipment down there as well. Should be a good fit. Let's see. Oh yeah. Matter of interest, garage. How much is that baler worth? Where is the baler? There. So that's 118. Straw harvest baler. See, that's 81. That's not actually, that's not bad. That's pricey, to say the least. That's 110. So, yeah, that's pricey too. That one's cheaper, but that one's quicker. Anyway, so balers. Maybe we'll look into them one day. As I said, if we get the fast baler, it will allow us to do baling contracts with our own equipment, entirely with our own equipment. Okay, we'll shut this door. I watched a map tour of the Millennial Farmers map, and somebody left the lights on. Nice thing about that map is stairs at the back. The shed doors have buttons inside, so you have to go through the little door to get the big doors open. Probably quite annoying after a while, but okay, we want to sleep until 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's probably a good thing. So £15 wage payments. We have leased vehicles. Huh. What leased vehicles do we have? Oh, that thing's leased. Oh, I thought we bought that. Oh, well, I could return it because I now don't need it until fall at the late fall at the earliest. I think that might be a plan. What was the leasing cost on it? I don't recall. Oh, that'll be on the money page. Money. Property Property maintenance. Okay, leasing costs. Oh, come on, where's lease? Oh, vehicle leasing costs. 6,000. Actually, that's not the leasing cost, is it? Oh, man. That's the problem. You don't know what the leasing cost is until you don't use it. Because we've been driving around all of yesterday. What is it? Garant. EFG. It's not under Garant. Okay, let's look up. Oh, idiot. Let's look up slurry tanks. There it is. So the leasing cost of that per day. So it's going to cost us $720 per day from now on. It's when we use it per hour that it starts racking up the price. We could have had it a different colour. Anyway, I'm going to return it. There now. Then I don't have to worry about paying for it from now onwards. Oh, sun is coming up. We got stuck on something again. There we go. Kind of a good thing and a bad thing, but having to go into the house to the bed can be really annoying at times. Not so bad on the Estancia Lapacho map because that house is huge, but on a map like this, not quite so friendly. Okay, let us... we'll top off the water. I'm not really bothered with cleanliness, to be perfectly honest. We'll top off the water. I do find it funny that so many people who use the animal extension mod or the animal pen extension mod will put the water filler plus the tap by the thing. 123 sheep. Oh my goodness. We started with 66. If we end up with 132 sheep, we've had 120%, 100% breeding rate. We still have pregnant sheep out there. We still have pregnant sheep that still have about a day to go. Oh my goodness. We might have 100% sheep breeding thing. Anyway, what's the thing on this sheep? Relatively prolific. Is that what? Yeah, that's what we have. Good for 25 to 40 pound kilo lambs. Okay. So I'm thinking once these get to about 40 pounds, no, 85 pounds, we can consider selling some of them. It's that or you keep them till they're 150. So we've got a fairly good selection of weights here, all things considered. Where is it? 67, 44 pounds. Male lambs are a little heavier, born around the same time, so worth a little bit more, but we might start, once we get up to about 80 pounds, we might start looking at shipping out the males, see how many females we end up with, and that's double that will be what we have next spring. No, what did I just do? Back. Don't do that. Do not buy new sheep. We do not need any new sheep. So they have enough food for now. We'll worry about their food levels tonight when we get back to the farm. But for right now, we need to get back to the fields and start putting stuff in the ground to make money. Is there a mod that lets you sell digestate? To be honest, I don't know. There are mods that allow you to store it, which I probably need to do. I mean, I make 100% use of mine. I have so many fields that I can't fail to use it all at the moment. Let's put it this way. I am not generating enough digestate to cover all of my fields once in a year. Now, on Lawfolds, I was at the point I was producing so much silage that I had millions of litres of silage stored at the BGA, and then I would sell it during spreading slurry on the field season. So I always had enough slurry, but I would spend a day spreading slurry and then spend the night selling a couple of 100,000 tons of silage to make more digestate. So the only thing I can suggest is you buy some more fields or do contracts. That's the other thing you can do. The thing is a fertilization contract requires you to fertilize the ground. It doesn't specify with what, and digestate is a valid fertilizer. Okay, we'll get out for now. So we will unfold this, which actually means folding everything up. And we'll turn all the major lights on. There we go. So, yeah. But I don't know if there's a mod that allows you to sell it. You could look at the manure. You could look at the manure mod.